بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الإخوة والأخوات الطلاب والطالبات، أرحب بكم اليوم وأقدم لكم درس في منهج ميجا جول 2 وتحديدا الدرس 11 من الوحدة الخامسة صفحة 78 و 79. Okay guys, today inshallah we are going to cover the 11th lesson on page 78 and 79, Unit 5. This lesson, inshallah, is focusing on form, meaning, and function. Let us first know what is form and meaning and function. Of course, when we say form, we mean that something is forming. For example, imagine that you have, for example, a house that you want to build, and you are forming this house by having some of the tools and other things related to the process of building. The same is when we talk about form and meaning and function. We have words, we have other parts, we have conjunctions, we have things related to the parts of a speech or to the function or the structure of a sentence. Of course, the meaning means or focusing on what does this sentence or statements mean and what each one of its part means. Of course, we have function. The function, the outcome of the form and meaning. Okay, guys. Today, inshallah, we have the present perfect against the verses of simple past. We use the present perfect to talk about an action that happened in the past when the exact time isn't known or important. We use the past tense when the exact time is given. So, first of all, let us mention something to the present perfect and past simple. The simple past is something that has happened and done in the past, while the present perfect is something or to talk about an action that happened in the past when the exact time is not known. Sometimes we mention to some of the actions in the past, but with no exact time, with no exact meaning. So this is the difference between the present perfect and the simple past. As you see here, we have some examples. In this part, we have the way how we can make questions by using the present perfect and simple past. Have they discovered life on another planet yet? So here is a question. Use the present perfect, have, which is followed by a verb, which is discovered. As you see, the form or the pace of the present perfect is have plus the past participle, So here we have and discovered, which is ended in ed, which is the past participle of the verb discover. The answer will be with yes, of course. Yes, they have. When did IBM introduce the first PC? It was introduced in 1981. Actually, this is simple past. We have here did, which is one of the verbs that are used to show or to mention something that happened in the past, and was is one of the helping verbs or the auxiliary verbs that actually used to mention something in the past. Of course, was used for singular, I mean one, while did used for singular and plural, I mean one and more than one. So this is the first part, which is present perfect and simple past. Let us now go to the other topic, which is time expressions. Time expressions. Actually, we use time expressions on different levels. When we write, when we speak, we use time expressions to mention something that is in the past. Let us go over them and know each one of them, then go to discussion. We have a go, we have for, and we have since. Each one of these words or time expressions has its own way to work, has its own way to form, has its own way to function. So let us start by a go. A go actually linked to past. When we use a go, we have to mention something that happened in the past. So for example, I met Ahmed 5 minutes ago. So I, myself, met Ahmed 5 minutes ago. So this is part of the past. As you see, we use the simple past tense with the exact time is given. For example, yesterday, 2 days ago, last week, last month, last year. Use the present perfect simple tense with for to indicate the duration of the action. To indicate the duration of the action. To indicate the duration of the action. So we use this to indicate the duration of the action. We use the present perfect simple with since to indicate when the action began. Since yesterday, since last June. Let us first work with ago. In 1908, a small asteroid exploded over Siberia. We moved to Moscow 3 years ago. As you see here, we use ago to mention something that happened in the past. As you see, we specify the date, which is 1908. A small asteroid exploded over Siberia. And of course, here we use the verb in its past form. We moved to Muscat 3 years ago. Here we also mention the exact time, which is 3 years ago. She didn't call her mother last night. So she didn't call her mother last night. So last night is how we can show that this action or that this time was in the past. Let us move now to the present perfect. He has worked as a scientist. Actually, here we have some examples. He has worked as a scientist for many years. As I said, when we use the word for, we have to work with the present perfect. We have to work with the present perfect. And let us mention something about the present perfect. We said that the base or the rule of the present perfect is one of the verbs have or has plus the past participle. So has, have plus the past participle. As you see here, we have worked, we have lived, we have used. Okay. Then we keep or we continue have the sentence, which is a scientist for many years. In Moscow since May. We haven't used our car for a long time. We just mention, or we want to mention something here, that we can use the negative form of the verb. Okay, all verbs here in the affirmative form, so we can use them in the negative form. Okay. We also have something else. Let us go over this part. Yes, work with a partner and write sentences about inventions. Inventions means something that someone is creating. Someone is creating something. So this is the invention. Of course, here we have the credit card. The credit card is the card that you can use to withdraw money or to go to a bank machine and have some money. We also have canned food. Canned food, you know that people used to, for example, dry their food to protect them, and then they went to another level of having food in their homes and houses by having canned foods. And nowadays, canned foods are originally used in all supermarkets and groceries. We also have wristwatch. The wristwatch, for example, I have a wristwatch. Okay, so the watch was basically not used by originally ways, and now it's used electronically and digitally. The radio, of course, the radio is one of the revolutionary inventions that actually changed the way of having news and sending news to the different parts of the world. Toothpaste is the liquid that used to clean our tooth and such a thing. Actually, the date of the first invention was in 1951. The other one was in the early 80s, and the third one was in 1910, and the fourth one was in 1901, while the last one was in 1841. The invention electric light bulb, the light bulb was in 1879. The filmmaking was in 1995. The paperclip was in the 1980s or 1890s. The airplane was in 1903, while the ballpoint pen was in 1888. Okay, guys, we can now keep doing our job, which is related to the base and to the rule that we have discussed earlier. Okay. Yes, as you see here, have you used any of the inventions and exercises? How long have you used them? Ask and answer questions with a partner. Add other inventions. Have you ever been on a plane? Or yes, I have. I traveled by plane when I went on vacation last summer. Do you have a credit card? Yes, I have had credit card for 2 years, or I have had one since I was 18. Okay, guys, now we'll go over another topic of the topics that we earlier mentioned. Now we have expressing ability, permission, and request. Let us first break out this title, and then inshallah we'll go over the details. Expressing ability. Expressing means to show. So expressing means to show. Expressing means to show. So expressing ability means when you express that you are able to do something, for example, I can do something related to, for example, teaching. This is the verb that we use to, for example, expressing our ability. Permission and request. Permission, for example, when someone allows you to, for example, to go inside his home, this is the meaning of permission. Or, for example, when you ask a teacher to go out the class and he gave you the permission to go out. And of course, we have request. Request is, for example, when you want someone to do such a thing, you request him, or for example, you request through the website or the electronic website to have some goods. Now we'll go over the pace and the verbs that we're gonna inshallah use in this. The first verb is can. The first verb is can. Actually, we use can to express ability in the present. So we use can to express ability in the present. For example, I can speak English. She can speak French. We use could to express ability in the past. So could related to past. Could, for example, people travel long distances before the airplane was invented? Yes, they could. They traveled by ship. And now we'll move to permission. We use may and can to express permission. So we have may and can. We use them to express permission. The verb may I leave early today? For example, when you talk to your, for example, driver, or to talk to your colleague by asking him, may I leave early today? Can I have another soda? The answer is yes, you may, no, you may not. Of course, you can use the negative way. Yes, you can, no, you cannot. Yeah, now we have the request. Use can and could to make polite requests. So we use can and could to make polite requests. Polite means the perfect way of such a thing. For example, when you want to leave out from the class, you raise your hand and say, teacher, can I go, for example, to bathroom or to such a place or to coffee break and so on. So we can use could and can to show request. For example, could you fill in this form, please? Yes, of course. Can you help me? Sure, not now, I'm busy. Could you open the window? Certainly. Sorry, I can't. Actually, here we have the last part, which is the if with past perfect and would be able and would have been able. Actually, if is the verb that used in Arabic الأفعال الشرطية أو الجمل الشرطية أو أداة الشرط. We have different ways of expressing this. As you see here, the base is saying that we use if plus the past perfect. الباست perfect قاعدة الباست perfect هي had plus the past participle of a verb. For example, I had mentioned. So I use mentioned here as a past participle. So if I had studied computer science, I would be able to invent a cutting-edge robot. Present ability. If Dr. Fleming had discovered penicillin sooner, doctors would have been able to save more lives during World War. The past ability. So we use this, which is if plus the past perfect and would be able or would have been able to, for example, show that we missed some of the opportunities. Okay, guys, thank you very much. That's all for today.